Hey everyone, welcome to Sales for Breakfast. And today we're going to talk about how to know which sales role to hire first in your organization. I'm Michelle Terpstra, and I am the CEO and founder of the Startup Sales Leadership Institute. And I am on a mission to help founders and CEOs scale their business with high performance sales teams. So thank you so much for jumping in today. And we're going to talk about making that first hire. Now, first of all, if you've known me long enough, you know that I never have a one size fits all solution. The reason why is because everyone's business is so uniquely different. So if you're considering adding someone to your sales team, your first hire, here are a few things that I want you to consider. First of all, you as the CEO and the founder, sit down and actually look at your calendar. What sales activities are taking up the most time? Okay, so you just grab a piece of paper, write them down. I spend X amount of time booking appointments per week. I spend X amount of time taking calls. I spend X amount of time in my CRM. I spend X amount of time in all of the different activities that are part of your sales system. Once you have a list of that, then what I want you to do is decide what you don't want to do anymore. Isn't that exciting to know that you can just check a box and be like, nope, don't want to do it anymore? The beauty of doing it this way is that we can assure that your first hire is the person that's going to take the most time consuming thing off of your plate and the thing that you don't want to be doing anymore. And a big question that I get asked all of the time is, Michelle, I make all of the sales for my business. I'm the CEO, I'm the founder, I'm closing 40, 50% or more of my calls. I am really scared to just be, here we go, off to a closer or off to a sales pro to handle all of these sales calls for me. And that's a totally normal feeling. And I would expect you to feel that way, right? So if you're that type of person, there's a few things that we can do. First of all, is that you can look for a sales development representative. And what that means, an SDR, is someone that is in charge of prospecting, screening, and booking your calls. Pretty cool, right? That role can also be commission only and performance based. It's really, really powerful to have that person because a lot of the effort, depending on what your funnel is and how you get people to calls, that's where a lot of the time is, right? So the SDR might be your perfect solution. Now, let's say you're like, Michelle, I've got an automated funnel. Like I'm running ads, I'm doing all of the things, and people are on my calendar. I have 20, 30 calls per week. I would then challenge you and say, great, well, then you likely don't need the SDR right now if you're already getting all of these wonderful book calls on your calendar. So let's think about what the wisest decision is right now to reduce the amount of time that you are selling. If you have, 15 to 20 calls on your calendar, that's 15 to 20 hours potentially and more after you track everything in the CRM that you're spending time doing this. So what you can do is you can decide, how am I going to start to ease off of the sales calendar? You don't have to go cold turkey. And unfortunately, so many people think, oh, that's it. If I hire a salesperson, I'm out. I'm never doing a sale again. And that can be your choice, but it doesn't have to be. And I actually recommend that you ease out of the role, and for lots of reasons, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But I want you to know that you do not have to go cold turkey. We can find ways to prioritize calls on your calendar that make the most sense for you to still take during the transition period, and then have other opportunities ready for your closer. And this is how you start to build your decision-making process, build your sales organization, build out your org chart based on your business's individual needs. Do not listen to anyone that says, this is exactly the way you do it, this is the order, and there's no flexibility. Because no two businesses are ever built the same. And it's absolutely crucial that you're building out your org chart for your sales department in a way that makes sense, that's going to support your business, increase sales, and get you spending less time selling and more time back into the founder role. This is so absolutely crucial. So let's recap here. SDR, sales development representative. That person's role is to book appointments, to screen qualified candidates, and to help you prospect. And this can be a huge weight off your shoulders if you have inconsistent lead flow or inconsistent call bookings, okay? The other option is to have that closer or that sales professional that's actually taking the calls and closing. And that person is best suited if you already have a booked calendar and you're ready for some help. Now, is there about 10 other sales roles that you can have in your organization? Absolutely. And I'll break down a couple of my favorites to talk about right now. Another really popular role, and if you've downloaded my case study recently, is about Bob and his $500,000 launch with me, is we really leverage social selling. So if you are a live launcher or you love virtual events, you have a huge social media presence, and you know that you just have people lingering in your socials that are ready to work with you, a social seller can be a really powerful asset to your organization, to your sales department. And their role is to work your socials, to book appointments, to make sales in the DM, to increase your following. There are so many different things that social seller can help you with. And the most velocity that a social seller gets is during a live event, because you have fresh people that come into your world. There is a very clear pitch. There's usually a deadline. All of the things of sales psychology is working to the benefit of the organization to utilize a social selling team. Okay. And typically we can make sales within the DM and in private message really, really easily during a live event, because there's typically an offer made by the founder, and the social seller's role is to close. So it's really, really a powerful tool. So we have social sellers, we have SDRs, and we have closers. It's really exciting to have the opportunity to have a mix in your sales department of all of these roles. And we can even go a little bit further. So let's say, for example, that you have an offer that would be great for corporate. Okay. You want to sell, instead of like to an individual, a solopreneur, or a small organization, you want to go corporate. There are different skill sets you'll need to hire for in order to get someone effectively into a role that can help you grow within a corporate offer. So let's say, for example, you are a performance coach and you help executives have better performance, right? Let's say that is your model. How powerful would it be if you had someone in your organization that could work corporate deals and get you 10, 20 sales in one instead of just one at a time to individuals? So there's lots of opportunities, and the best way to figure out where you should start is the exercise that I provided in the beginning of this training, which is looking at your sales system, deciding where you're spending the most time as the CEO and founder. What do you not want to do anymore? And start there. It's also incredibly crucial that you have a plan of where you want your organization to go from a selling perspective. So what products, what offers, what's the future, what's going to get you to the 1, 3, and 5 year mark, and who will you need on your team in order to achieve those goals. It's a really powerful exercise that we're going to be doing in the very first week of the start of the Startup Sales Leadership Academy that starts in April. We are 40% sold out right now, and I am so excited to deliver this to the founders and CEOs that are going to join us within there. And the goal of the program is to set up your sales system. Set up your sales system so that you can bring people in to help you in your organization. What I don't want to have happen is that you wake up next week and you say, you know what would be really nice is if I had some appointment setters and closers. And then an ad pops up in your feed and it's like, outsource all of your sales. And you're like, yes, dream, I'm going to do it. You click the button, you spend a ton of money, and you don't make the sales that you want because your business was not prepared for it. This is the number one mistake that I am seeing in the online entrepreneur space, and I don't want it happening for you. So the first thing that you need to do is to work through the foundations of what will make your business successful to scale with a sales team. Then we can go and hire at any capacity that we want. Okay. So the first week within the academy is going to be extremely powerful. It's going to be a planning opportunity. And if you're like me, the CEO loves a planning opportunity, and we're going to make it really, really powerful. We are going to stick to a plan. We're going to set milestones, and we're going to make sure that your business is set up successfully, which includes creating onboarding sales training, ongoing support, What do your sales meetings look like? What do your huddles look like? What does success look like for somebody working for you? These are such crucial pieces of the puzzle that I see very few people do, which is why time and time again, when founders and CEOs go to grow their sales department or outsource, there's nothing but failure. And I am done watching it happen, and I am here to help you. So if this is on your mind, I know for certain the Academy is exactly the place that you need to be. And what's exciting about the Academy is that you will have your first person hired by summer, which means that if you're like me and enjoy spending time at the beach and vacationing and enjoying the sunshine and getting as much vitamin D as possible during summer, you have that opportunity. So if this resonates with you, just drop a comment below or send me a DM and let's talk about it. Because what I want for you is to be able to scale to whatever you want without sales holding you back because you're at your capacity. We don't need that. What we need is more impact-driven businesses scaling. And when you're scaling, it means more lives saved. It means that you're hitting your growth targets. It means you're be able to make the impact that you desire so much. So I hope that you will join us if you are ready to build that sales team. And I hope this was also helpful for you to to build a quick exercise right now that you can do in 10 minutes to determine what your first sales hire will look like. And we're going to go into a ton more detail within the program. So I hope to see you there, and happy Friday, everyone. And it's month end. So I hope you crush those goals.